Once again, back at the unit. Once again, it's been a couple of weeks since I've been here. I think last time I was down here was at the start of lockdown, the second lockdown, and so we're in the middle of like November now. I think it's like the 18th or something like that. Might be able to tell, not in the best of moods. I've just got to be honest, I think, and say at this stage I'm sort of bored of this project. I've had enough. It's just all feels like it's turned a bit sour, to be honest. I think that, like the frustrations early on were just that I was doing this by myself and sort of on a budget, and that's turned into, well, like the positive, the flip side of that is it's sort of like it's a bit of an adventure, a bit of a challenge or whatever. But this lockdown shit, it's just there's no adventure to be found in it. There's no fun in it. It's just pissing me off. And yeah, now we've spent all the money on the stock and stuff. We're down to like our last £300 in the bank, and the bills keep coming in. We've still got to pay the electricity bills, we've still got to pay the internet bills, things like that. So we're fast running out of money. In the news they're talking about extending lockdown, that it might not end in early December. The alternative is if it does end in early December, and they allow people like contact over Christmas, they're going to shut it down again in January to sort of make up for the spike that December and Christmas is going to cause. So I don't know, it just feels like it's never going to end at the minute, and part of me is I just wish I'd never bothered. And you know what, I feel awful saying that, because this entire thing, this entire project has been built on people's generosity, and I'm so appreciative of it and so thankful for it, that it makes me feel a bit sort of selfish, a bit of an arse for saying that I've had enough of it. But I suppose that, I don't know, that sort of adds to it, that people have been so generous and given up their time and the money to help us out with this, and that it's just sort of being killed off before it's even got going. I don't know if I'm just being negative, and maybe it'll all work out fine in the end, but I'm just not enjoying myself anymore. So but we're still, I can't give up. Gotta get on with it anyway. So I'm here today I've come back with Leanne. I've got my niece as well, she's here, because all the rest of the stock's arrived. So we've got all the stock, and then we've brought all the plates and stuff to like get the cafe side of it finished as well. I've bought a till system, to install, and we need to do an inventory of all the stock. I don't think I'm going to bother filming most of today. This is just sort of an update really, because doing a stock inventory is not very interesting to watch, is it? It's not very interesting to do. So I don't know, I'm all over the place. Oh, that's what I need to show you. So we had the sign installed, so that was sort of good and bad news there. In fact, let me show you the sign. See how dead it is in the mall as well at the minute, because all the shops are pretty much closed. So I don't know if you can see there, look at it, it's just dead. There's no one about. But anyway, here we go. This is the sign that we had installed. So there we go. Looks great. I suppose I should be being a bit more optimistic about it, in the sense that people have been taking pictures of the sign and posting it on Facebook and on social media, and it's generated quite a lot of interest. I think in the from one post, the first post that went up advertising the shop, our Facebook page, even though there's no information on it, there was no profile picture, there was nothing on there. All I'd done is sort of, I was just squatting the domain name to make sure nobody else took it. But the page, even though it was blank, ended up getting like 200 likes on it, and then people were talking about it and interested and stuff like that. And that's great, but like I say, it also makes it feel like the expectations have been raised, and if we run out of money before we're able to sort of keep ourselves afloat, it's just going to be all the more disappointing and all that much more of a failure. With the sign as well, I'm blabbing on here. I think last time I said I was going to cancel the sign because of the guys there had messed me about. I don't know how much I told you that story, but I turned up to, they were supposed to come and install it, and they didn't. They had me stood around for nothing for a few hours just waiting for them. So I rang up, asked for a refund, and then they tried blaming it on me, saying I'd got the dates wrong, which I hadn't. They'd sent me an email with a date on, the health and safety documentation had the date on. There was like 5 different documents that had showed I'd got the right date, and I wouldn't mind as well, but the way we came to that date, agree that date in the first place, was me and the guy on the phone spoke about it to each other on the phone, and he still tried lying and saying that we'd got it wrong. So I said I wanted a refund. He said he didn't want to give me the refund because he didn't feel like he'd failed to live up to the company's terms and conditions. So I pointed out why they'd failed to live up to it. So I ended up just saying to them, look, you sort it yourselves now. Like, you ring up the Stretford Mall management, you arrange a date, you come and do it. I'm not even bothering turning up for it. And if the sign isn't up by the time I find someone else to do it, then I want my money back. And then lo and behold, magically they turn up the next day and get it installed, no problem. So it's like I say, it's all just turning a bit sort of sour now. I'm just left open now. I'm going to do a bit of filming, time-lapse filming, and let you guys see this, this place being finished off and sort of ready to open, ready to just allow customers to start coming in. And then I'm just hoping that the story will sort of turn around and everything will be alright in the end. But I've got to be honest, I don't know. I just don't see that it's going to happen, to be honest. And I'm bored of it. But I owe it to the foundation, and I owe it to everybody else that's helped us out to get it finished and try and make a success of it. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, that's enough rambling. Let's get some filming done. Hello. So, new day, I'm back again. As you can probably tell, still not in a very good mood. In fact, I'm in a worse mood than I was last time, because things have got worse. But just sort of an update on the last, well, not episode, the last time we was here. I haven't edited this episode together yet, but I'm imagining the little time-lapse shot that's going to precede this segment isn't going to be particularly interesting, because we didn't get hardly anything done the other day. So the plan with the other day, when I brought Leanne and Alexa, was what to get all the stock put out and finished off the layout, get everything looking, feeling right, and then stock inventory, get the till system up and running, get all the crockery and cutlery washed and prepped and put out on all the units, and just have it ready to go. And as usual, I didn't get hardly anything done. In fact, the only thing we did get done was getting the rest of the stock put out. So yeah, you're probably bored of these shots and these rambles. I'm bored myself of it. But basically, we still hadn't had all the stock arrive, and so I'd sort of left it halfway done, and but there's something not right about it. So anyway, the rest of the stock arrived, brought Leanne, and she's finished it off, and so this is like the final layout. I don't know if you tell or whether you care or whatever, but there's something about this particular layout that just it works. It feels right. It's, I don't know, it's just right. So that's that done. Whoop-de-doo. We didn't get anything else done. It was just messing about, changing things around. We only had like 2 or 3 hours to be here anyway, and so spent most of the time just doing that, messing about with the layout. So I've come back today to get all the other stuff done, clean up, washing up, putting things out and what have you. I'm distracted and annoyed because saying the other day that this second lockdown isn't helping. We're sort of down to our final few £100 in the bank. We're unable to trade, and we've still got outgoings, which it looks like we're going to be right down to the wire. I mean, there's every chance that I'm going to have to start paying for the foundation's bills with my own personal money if I want to keep this going. Well, that was best case scenario. Worst case scenario has happened. So we took the lease on this place because of the business rates holiday. So for anyone that doesn't know, business rates, council tax, whatever, they've been put on hold due to COVID to help businesses survive. And so when we took the lease on this place, we thought, we're led to believe, that we wouldn't be paying any business rates. And if I'm being honest, it's probably the only reason, well, not the only reason, but it was a major reason why we decided to take this project on, was that we would be exempt from the business rates, because they're extortionate. This isn't a small premises, so it's a lot of money. And so we thought, well, we could, we're getting here for the financial year that the business rates, that you're exempt from them. We could just about afford to do this project, and it'd enable us to sort of maximise profits and bring some money in, and then hopefully, start generating enough turnover that when all the rates and everything kicks back in, we'd be able to afford it and stick around. And if not, it's just an opportunity to make some money for the foundation so that we can go do some other projects. Turns out there was a catch to this business rates deal. So yes, there is a business rates holiday for retail, leisure and hospitality, venues, businesses, whatever. However, you only qualify if you have been open to the public. So in other words, if you took a lease out this year as a business, say you buy an empty shell or lease an empty shell, what we've done, and you're doing it up, it takes a couple of months to do the place up before you open to the public. Those months that you're in there doing the place up, you owe business rates. It's only once you've opened to the public that you're exempt from the business rates. So in other words, we have, September and October we racked up 2 months worth of business rates. We planned to open on November 6th, but then the second lockdown kicked in, so we've been forcibly closed despite wanting to open to the public and to trade, but the government still wants its pound of flesh. So we are now something like £3,800 in debt, just like that. We haven't got £3,800. We've got nowhere to get it from. We're not allowed to open to trade to make the money to pay it back. We've got 300 quid in the bank. Well, even less than that now. And I don't know what to do. The other thing is, I think I mentioned last time, It's looking like the government are going to let businesses open for a few weeks in December for Christmas, and then they're going to lock down again in January to sort of make up for the spike in cases that it's supposedly going to cause. I don't know. So, for us opening a couple of weeks in December and then being locked down in January, it's just not going to cut it. There's no way we can make that money back, and that's not what this was supposed to be. This wasn't supposed to be a project where we try and make some money to pay some debts off to the government. So there's a small, we've spoken to the council, and there's a small chance that we will be eligible to backdate the business rates relief, because what we were doing is when we opened this, we were toying with the idea of doing sort of online retail as well, so selling things like through Facebook Marketplace and eBay, and maybe even having a little Shopify store, selling like pamper hampers, so little gift boxes with like sleep aids and relaxation stuff, bath bombs, gift hampers that sell relaxation and positive mental health stuff. And so we cobbled a few of those together, and we sold a few. And the way we did it was we advertised it, and that it was sold from this place, from the retreat. People bought them, booked one, and then they came into the shop to collect it and paid cash on premises, which is technically us being open to the public and trading on the premises. The only problem is we need to prove it, and it was a very informal setup. We sold stuff to people, asking them to sort of give us feedback and a bit of a plug to other people, and people turned up and they paid cash, and we gave them a little invoice and what have you. But I don't know if that's going to be sufficient, and even if it is sufficient, we still owe a month. We're still going to owe a month of council tax regardless, which is still like £1,300 and £1,300 that we haven't got. And again, at the moment, we have no way of generating it. So I keep sort of going back and forth on it, because part of me just wants to go, forget it. This isn't going to work. And I can't be bothered with the stress of trying to make it work, because I've been through that with a business before, trying to force a business to work when it's just hopeless. And I don't know if this is hopeless or not. I haven't figured it out yet. So part of me is just like, just cut your losses, knock it on the head now, and just contact everyone that's contributed and apologise and see if you can give the stuff back and whatever. And then the other part of me is like, no, you've got to fight, everything's going to be fine. And I'm not a convert to that way of thinking. This idea of heroic individualism, that individuals can be the wellspring of positivity and think things into being and stuff like that. I don't believe that people can just overcome the odds and be the heroes of their own little story all the time. And sometimes the world does conspire against you, circumstances conspire against you, and there's nothing you can do. And sometimes it's the healthier thing to do is to just knock it on the head. Having these high expectations and trying to fight against the odds sometimes is the cause of people's mental breakdowns, especially when it's a futile endeavour. I'm ranting, moaning, but yeah, I don't know what to do. I think we have to try and open anyway, just to try and make some money back, try and salvage something from this project. But it has, if I'm being honest, I do think this has gone from being a project with a lot of potential that could have potentially been in Stretford Mall for years and had all these various other opportunities come out of it, and now I think we're just into, especially if there's going to be another lockdown after this one in January, I think we're just into sort of damage control mode, and we just need to wind it up as quickly as possible and put it down to experience. So, like therapy, this wasn't supposed to be like this. But yeah, it is what it is. You know what I have to say? Stressful as this is for me, I cannot imagine what it's like for a lot of these other small and medium-sized businesses that have been going for years. Family businesses, people that employ other people, that have got people relying on them, people that have been built something for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, invested all the time and all their energy into it, and government incompetence can just take it all away like that. Because I mean, if this, you know, the truth is, if we can't recover the money, if we can't pay the council back, unlike like private lenders and stuff like that, unsecured loans, you can avoid those debts. You can't avoid government debts. They will get the money one way or the other. The only way to avoid them is to go bankrupt as a business. And so there's every possibility that if we can't catch up to ourselves now, that this foundation that not even got going will have to be wrapped up in order to, you know, protect us from the inevitable mounting fines and penalties that arise from not paying your debts to the government. And that thought, no, it doesn't devastate me, but it is upsetting, because, you know, I've worked my ass off for a year trying to put this together. But that's what I mean. So for people that have built businesses for decades and, you know, built a legacy for the families and stuff like that, and it's just being taken away from them, I can't imagine what that's like. It's awful. So I don't know, I can't have to do some moaning. I need to get on with some work. So hopefully, I don't think I'm going to film anything now until it's time to open, and hopefully the next video will be a bit more hopeful and optimistic.